Antidiuretics. We have seen about the antidiuretic hormone and its analogues in our previous video. In this video, we will see about the other antidiuretics like natriuretics and miscellaneous antidiuretics. First, let's see about the natriuretics, which includes thiazides and amiloride. First is thiazide. Thiazides are actually diuretics, but they have paradoxically action on antidiuretic in diabetes insipidus. So they paradoxically exert an antidiuretic action in case of diabetes insipidus. It reduces urine volume both in pituitary origin as well as renal diabetes insipidus. So both in nephrogenic and neurogenic diabetes insipidus. But it is especially valuable in renal diabetes insipidus, in which desmopressin is ineffective. So for renal diabetes insipidus, the drug of choice would be thiazides, as desmopressin is ineffective. But the efficacy of thiazides is low. Let's see the mechanism of action of thiazide as an antidiuretic. Thiazides induce a state of sustained electrolyte depletion. So the glomerular filtrate is more completely reabsorbed isoosmotically in PCT, as there is a state of sustained electrolyte depletion which is caused by thiazides. The glomerular filtrate is more completely reabsorbed isoosmotically in the PCT. Further, because of the reduced salt reabsorption in the cortical diluting segment, a smaller volume of less dilute urine is presented to the collecting duct and the same is passed out. So only less amount of urine is passed out. Also, thiazides reduce the glomerular filtration rate and thus the fluid load on the tubules. So this is the mechanism of thiazides acting as antidiuretic due to its paradoxical action. Hydrochlorothiazide. This is most commonly used as antidiuretic. It is less effective than vasopressin, but it is more convenient and cheap. This may reduce polyuria to some extent. But along with hydrochlorothiazide, potassium supplements should be given, as this causes hypokalemia. Next natriuretic is amiloride. Amiloride is also a diuretic which belongs to the class epithelium sodium channel blocker, that is potassium sparing diuretic. This amiloride is the drug of choice for lithium induced nephrogenic diabetes insipidus, because along with blocking entry of sodium in the principal cells of collecting duct, it also blocks lithium entry. So it also reduces the lithium toxicity along with blocking the entry of sodium in the principal cells of the collecting duct. Amiloride is the drug of choice for lithium induced nephrogenic diabetes insipidus. Miscellaneous antidiuretics. This includes indomethacin, chlorpropamide, carbamazepine. Indomethacin, it reduces polyuria in renal diabetes insipidus to some extent by reducing the renal prostaglandin synthesis. This is the mechanism of action of indomethacin. Reduces polyuria in renal diabetes insipidus by reducing the renal prostaglandin synthesis. So this can be combined with a thiazide with or without amiloride in nephrogenic diabetes insipidus. So this is used as an add-on drug. Next is chlorpropamide. The chlorpropamide is a long-acting sulfonylurea that is an oral hypoglycemic drug. Decreases urine volume in diabetes insipidus of pituitary origin but not in renal diabetes insipidus. So this is useful only in case of pituitary origin diabetes insipidus, that is neurogenic diabetes insipidus. This sensitizes the kidney to ADH action. So this is the action of chlorpropamide which is in sulfonylurea class of oral hypoglycemic drug. Next is carbamazepine, which is basically an anti-epileptic drug. The carbamazepine reduces urine volume in diabetes insipidus of pituitary origin. So both carbamazepine and chlorpropamide are active in case of renal diabetes insipidus. So they are not active in renal diabetes insipidus. They are active only in pituitary origin diabetes insipidus, also called as neurogenic diabetes insipidus. Let's see about the vasopressin antagonists. They can be antagonists to either V1 receptor or V2 receptor, or antagonists for both V1 and V2 receptors. First drug is tolvaptan. So this includes Vaptan group of drugs. Vaptan, VAP stands for vasopressin and AN is antagonist. So vasopressin antagonist. Tolvaptan is an orally active non-peptide selective V2 receptor antagonist. So this is selective for V2 receptors. Tolvaptan is selective V2 receptor antagonist. So this is used in treatment of hyponatremia due to chronic heart failure, cirrhosis of liver, or SIADH, syndrome of inappropriate ADH. Mechanism of action: it increases the free water clearance by the kidney and it also corrects the low plasma sodium levels. Side effect of tolvaptan is thirst, dry mouth, fever, gastrointestinal upset and hyperglycemia. And this is metabolized by CYP3A4 isoenzyme. So it has drug interactions with CYP3A4 inducers and CYP3A4 inhibitors. Next drug is mozavaptan. Mozavaptan is also V2 selective antagonist as tolvaptan. And the next drug is conivaptan, which is antagonist for both V1A as well as V2 receptors. Tolvaptan is selective for V2 receptor, so it acts as V2 receptor antagonist. Mozavaptan is also a V2 selective antagonist, but conivaptan is antagonist at both V1A receptor as well as V2 receptor. So this is all about antidiuretics. Thank you.